What's up guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be discussing the rune changes I've done after the recent rune removal event. So this video is going to be a little bit different to how I usually do it. So I decided that this time I'll only go through the units that I changed like a fair bit, right? I'm not going to go for the units that I haven't changed. So any units that you're curious about that that I haven't shown on this video, you can check out last month's video, and the runes are practically the same. The only small differences would be maybe I might have regrinded some of the substats, but overall it's mostly the same, well, at least the same sort of build. I think maybe like every now and then I'll do like a full rune showcase, but I think most of the time I'm just gonna do like a shorter version where I just show you the main units that I changed, and also any new units that I built, right? Since last month. All right, so Megan, I changed a bit. So with Megan, I took her off. Well, she used to be on broken set, but I gave her a fight set in addition to the Nemesis runes and the will runes. All right, so same as before. Will Nemesis is to counter Leo teams, and then I gave her fight to give her more utility, right? So she improves the damage of my Lutions, because that's what I use her with. I haven't maxed this rune yet because it's not really a priority. But yeah, those are her stats. She's lost a bit of speed. I believe she used to be about 238 speed. Now she's about 225. But she's faster than my Lution still, and she moves straight after Bernard buffs his speed, so that's fast enough for me. Alright, let's see, who else has changed? Most of these, yeah, I didn't really change too much. Oh, here's a new unit that I've built, Tractor. So, one of the reasons I built Tractor was for, well, actually there's two reasons I built him for, is for Guild Wars and also just for War Boss, right? Because he's a water unit that's going to have max skills, and I can give him like spare defense runes and stuff, so like he should perform okay in War Boss. I haven't really been paying attention to which team he's on, but I believe he's on either team 2 or 3, and he's on Double Shield Revenge. The reason he's not on Will is because he already has a passive that means he can't get that prevents him from getting defense broken. So normally against things like Galleon teams, I would bring like a very tanky team, right? And Tractor can come in against that because he's not going to get defense broken by the Galleon anyway, and then he's got the shield runes so that he provides some utility for the team. I would prefer to give him something like Enhance or Determination or Fight, but I don't have enough runes to give out to him yet, so I just gave him Shield because that's still good enough. It's pretty good actually for going against things like Galleon, Orion, or something like that. Because that way, Orion can't defense break Tractor, right? But he's providing shield runes for the rest of the team as well. And Revenge is to give him addition, because he's gonna be a tank, right? So being on Revenge gives him a bit of extra, chances to do something. Like revenging and stunning is pretty good. I haven't actually tried him out in Guild Wars yet, but I'll try my best to use him where possible. Just because this is a rush week, so I've only had one Guild War, and that was during my work time, so I haven't been able to record yet any Guild Wars. But hopefully there should be some over the next couple of days, so I'll record then. Hopefully I can give him a go. Let's see. Next up we got Verd. So Verd, he used to, actually I forgot what sets he used to be on, but so these are actually, I believe, since the last rune removal, I'm not sure if I still had him on Violent last month, but I changed him at least a couple of weeks ago to non-violent. Alright, and that helped my success rate in Dragon's B10, believe it or not. Okay, and I gave him a fight rune so that he's boosting the damage of my team. I was trying to give him 2 fight runes, 2 fight sets, but I didn't have enough quality ones to get him to where I wanted him to be at. So basically, I wanted him to be at least 170 speed minimum, right? And with double fight, I could only really get him to about 150, and I feel that was not fast enough. So yeah, only 1 fight set for now, but hopefully I'll farm better ones and I can change him to double or triple fight. That would be the most ideal. And as far as the speed sneaking on my Dragon's B10 team works, he works currently working best at like 175, or at least that was what he was working on before. The team didn't fail, so so I tried to, when I was rebuilding him, I tried to keep him within that same sort of parameters, right? And also trying to give him similar damage. His damage has increased since before. I tried to make it like at least same damage, but preferably a little bit higher, because the reason is because with the old build, he wasn't quite one-shotting the crystals when his defense. He's got attack buff and defense break on the opponent with his first skill. Second skill he'll one shot, but first skill not necessarily. And the reason why I want him to one shot with the first skill is it means that he'll help clear the trash waves a lot quicker. Because the idea, the best way to do Dragon's B10 speed run is to make sure all of your units will one shot the crystals during the trash waves, right? And that means your first skills need to be quite strong, but this is also assuming that you have Galleon buff, right? If you don't have Galleon buff, it's unrealistic to one-shot them, but you want to make sure that with Galleon buff you will be able to do it. Now ideally I would like to make him crit damage slot 4, but he won't be fast enough, because I want to make him attack crit damage attack. But I think I could maybe try to, later on, try to do double blade fight. Maybe that will work, because that means he'll have more damage, right? He should have plenty of damage to one-shot crystals, but I have to make sure he's still at least 170 speed to make him synced for my team. For everyone, for different players' teams, it's going to be different. Depends what units you use, what speed they're all at, etc. Okay, who else has changed? His one. Okay, Fire Panda. So Fire Panda, he used to be, I believe, a crit rate slot 4. He used to have very high crit rate. You can see here he's got very bad crit rate. It's not really intentional for him to be low crit rate, but I basically for raids he doesn't need to be max crit rate because he doesn't do a lot of damage. But I gave him crit damage rune just so that he'll scale with people when I run with crit lead, right? And he can add a little bit of damage, but he's not really there for that. He's mostly there just to tank and do debuffs, right? So, and also the other reason is so that he's sorry, I have to go back to him. The other reason he's holding a lot of the team runes, right? So he's got fight, enhance, determination. No real reason that I had one of each. It's just that those were what I had available, and they were the best ones that I had, right, in terms of stats. Because I wanted to make him tanky enough so that he's surviving fine in the front line while also being decently fast. The reason I want him to be fast is so that he can defense break before my Kung Fu Go and my Hua move, right? Because my Hua is not particularly fast, and Kung Fu Go is a lot slower, right? So I want to make sure that defense break comes up before they move. And yeah, so I just gave him 2 defense runes and one HP rune, a speed rune, and a crit damage rune, right? So the crit damage just to help do a little bit more damage, but not that necessary. If I needed that crit damage rune or someone else, then I would take it off him and give him something else. It doesn't really matter what you give him, just as long as you reach the stat you require. So if you're running him on, if you're running him in a 2-man front line, he'll need a lot more HP. He'll probably need about, I would aim for about 30k, and defense probably similar level, like 1600, maybe 1700 to be safe. I also want to give him a bit more accuracy, but I don't have. I'm looking for accuracy enchantments, believe it or not, to fix up the rest of his runes, or some of his runes, to give him a bit more accuracy so he can land the debuffs better. Okay. Oh, here's a new unit. Another new unit is Lexi. So Lexi, I built her for primarily for the win boss. She doesn't really need to be max Q rate. She can get away with 85, but it just so happened that this was like the best stats I could give her, and I just left it at that. Like I think I'm gonna re-optimize her later to drop her down to 85 crit rate and therefore give her more damage. But the reason I built her is for the win rate, right? So that's why she only needs 85 crit rate, because she's gonna crit with 85 anyway due to elemental advantage. So she's there for the passive, right? The passive is increased damage of all your allies, but also decrease HP recovery. Now the thing with the win rate boss is that it doesn't. Oh, sorry, it already has heal reduction when he does the lightning debuff on you, right? So this one, I believe it doesn't affect your units while they have lightning. So they're gonna have, I believe it's like 50% reduction regardless. Okay, for healing. So as long as as long as it's like that, like she's there just to buff damage for your team, but also she also provides branding effect for the groggy stage, which is quite nice, and also defense break. So I think she's actually pretty good for it. Her debuffs aren't 100% application rate, and mine aren't max skill yet, but hopefully I'll get enough assassins eventually to max skill her. So far she's been pretty decent. I think another alternative way to build her would maybe make her tankier, right, and just sit her in the front line. I considered that, but I didn't have the runes to make her like. Well, I wasn't happy with the runes that I would need to make her that way, but that is an option. Just give her defense runes, maybe speed runes to help her, move fast enough to debuff on the groggy stage, and maybe just like a bit of crit damage and stuff attack substats, so that she can add a bit of damage, right? So she can be there as like a debuffer and also like a mini damage dealer, and also there to buff your team with things like fight runes or determination runes or anything like that. Even though determination runes doesn't help that much on the boss, it's still something that helps the survivability of your team. If you're struggling with getting hit by, once you get hit by lightning, you take a lot of damage, right? So if you can reduce the damage you take, it reduces the strain on your healers. They can top you up a lot easier, and that way you can get rid of the lightning debuff as soon as possible. So that was sort of like my theory behind building her, and because I wanted to improve my win team, because I want to make sure that my raid teams are pretty good, right? So that I want to get like at least double S in every raid. That way I can farm for more of these runes more efficiently, because I think a lot of them have really good uses, not only in PvE but also PvP, right? In certain comps, but it's a bit more niche in that it has to be a unit that doesn't need to have things like violent and will, or like maybe just will and 2 offsets. That's some units can afford to do that, but it really depends on what the purpose of the unit is in your team, right? But I think they're worth farming if you can get triple S or double S. At the moment, it's still very energy inefficient, because pretty much to farm 1 rune, you need a full energy refill, right? So considering how many runes you could find from dungeons, that's pretty bad in my opinion. But it's currently the only way to get them, so I just have to take the bullet and do it. If you're free to play, I don't recommend farming raid beasts, but if you don't mind spending a lot of crystals, then and like you pay for the crystals, then by all means I would farm the raid beasts, because they can help a lot. You can see like a lot of my team, I feel that they've improved a lot because of these team runes. I changed the Rakaja a bit, so I made him a bit tankier for the win raid. Gave him more defense because he's in the front line, and I think he's surviving okay now. Because before, with his old stats, he was dying sometimes, and that means that my raid was that it might lose, and only get A plus or A. So I want to make sure that he survives in the front line. So I gave him more defense. I think that was the main thing. Okay, Lution got changed a bit, so he gained a bit of damage, right? He's still on the same build, like Despair. So this is my first Lution, and yeah, he's gained a little bit of damage. I think he gained 1 speed, not very game breaking, but it's something. It's an improvement. And so I reshuffled some of the runes around and gave him like a better Despair set, so he does more damage. So on these stats with max towers, Bernard leader, he does about 7.5 per card, thereabouts. Okay, assuming no Darien or anything like that. And yeah, this is the Lution that goes first, alright? Because I want, just in case that there's like Nemesis users, I would like him to have the chance to stun them, right? Because I don't always know whether the unit would have Nemesis on them or not. Also because he's on Despair, like his damage will suffer a bit because I had to give him, like, even though this is probably my second best Despair set, my best being on Peace Armor, it's still like you're taking a hit in damage because you're giving up stats from your set bonuses for utility in the form of Despair, like this Despair stun. So that's why I want him to go first, so that he doesn't proc as much Nemesis, because you want your second Lution to hit harder to finish them off, right? The first Lution should do a lot of damage, but not as much, or like preferably not as much as your second. That way you proc less than Nemesis. Okay, I changed the Orochi a bit. It's not that relevant, but because I use him in Giant Speed 10, right? So I gave him a fight rune and just like plenty of stats to give him max crit, max accuracy. He doesn't have to have max accuracy, but I just gave it to him. May as well, because the accuracy runes aren't really going to be used on anyone else. So yeah, he just gets those runes. Okay. Another new unit, the Barbarian King. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name. It's a bit of a tongue twister. So anyway, you can see here he's like semi-tanky, like decently tanky, and I built him with a bit of speed, right? And the way his crit rate is built is for the water boss. Okay, I was trying to use him in the fire raid because I figured he might be okay because he does like self heal when this is on cooldown. But I don't feel has been really helping me that much. But it's possible to use him in there. I haven't tried him in Giant Speed 10, but I think he's decent in that too. So the reason I built him is for the third ability. It does damage, pretty good damage, while also buffing attack power and speed. Pretty good. While it's on cooldown, he's got self speed buff and HP recovery as well. Pretty nice. I think he's pretty good. As for his other abilities, he does branding, which is quite nice for raid boss. So that's why he's in the fire raid. Sorry, not the fire raid, the water raid. So that he's got branding, helps add branding effect. I still use Stellar. I use both of them so that there's multiple ways to get branding. He does pretty good damage as well. He's decently tanky, right? He's got pretty good base HP for an attacker, and does good damage. Does buffs as well. Speed buff is nice to have, especially for the water raid, and and attack power buff. Well, it helps keep it up, on your units a lot longer. Because I'm using Chasun as my healer, and her attack power buff is only 2 turns, right? On a 3-turn cooldown. So having another unit that does attack buff, it helps, especially because he's not losing anything for using it. Whereas, like, say if I was to use a Galleon, I have to waste a turn not doing damage to attack buff, right? But with this guy, he's doing he's doing damage while also doing attack power buff. Alright, so next up, I think Monkey King got changed a bit. I think he got nerfed a bit. Alright, he used to be a lot faster, but I had to shift his runes around. I can't remember why, but I think I gave some of his runes to other units, and that way, for that reason, he's like not as strong as he was. He used to be a lot faster. I think he had a more attack power as well, a bit more HP. But I don't use him as much anymore. I was using him mostly for Guild Wars defense, but because he's not my main Guild Wars defense unit anymore. I didn't mind reducing the quality of his runes. I will still use him on offense. I think I would prefer to put him on Will, but I just I'm not sure why I didn't. I think that maybe the Will runes are a bit stretched out, but hopefully I can change him back to Will later on. And that way I can use him in the Zyros Scallion team as well. Because I would like him to tank Pernas, because he can do good damage against like Galleon and stuff, whereas Ameda can't. But Ameda does have better effective life against Perna. But I think Monkey King still has good enough effective life that you can, like, if you have him, then I would use him over Ameda. Let's see. Okay, the second Lution I should show you as well. I believe he also gained some damage. Okay, and actually I should mention that both Lutions are affected by one fight rune. Okay, that's from Megan. Okay, now this Lution is on Will, and a Blade set and a Broken set. Okay, I would like to make him a fight Lution as well, like double fight Will or fight Will shield, something like that, or what the third set doesn't matter that much, but I want to give him at least one fight rune, preferably two, but I don't mind giving him like Blade or anything like that to give him better stats. So with this one, I want him on Will because he's the Lution that's going to move second, so just in case something cuts in, at least he's protected by Will. For example, something like a Nemesis Veromos or Nemesis Varad, stuff like that. That way he's protected from the stun or resets. With these stats, one fight rune and Bernard leader, and also max buildings, he does about 8.5k per card. Okay. Let's see. I think. Oh, this one. Grogo. So previously he was on like a DPS build, but I changed him now to make him more of a tank. Alright, so I gave him more defense. I still gave him speed and some crit rate substats, but he doesn't do as much damage. I believe he used to be on crit damage on his slot 4. But I changed him now to be a tank. So this is for I want to make him a replacement for a Chroma. Alright, so that I can build a Chroma a different way. But I realized the problem was that in some cases or in a lot of cases with Sierra teams, right? The Sierra teams where I would use a light tank in, because I used light tank and double fire. But a lot of those Sierra comps will use something that will strip buffs. For example, Praha, Juno, Triton, Chiwu, that sort of thing, right? And that makes it very hard to use Grogo because I mean, you can still tank the bomb with the passive, but I would prefer to have the immunity buff up, and therefore that's why like buff strippers make it a little bit riskier with Grogo. But I'll probably still try to test using him against those teams anyway, and see how I go. Oh, also he's on like Revenge Will, because I want the Will because I want him to be protected against like Orions and stuff. I probably should have gave him a shield rune, but I wanted to destroy it so that I definitely want to destroy at least, because that way if the fight gets drawn out, like if there's a healer with the Sierra, over time I can eventually wear it down, right? Because on my Kuma I don't use destroy on him anymore, or at least not currently. And Rakuni does basically no damage, and I don't want to give him the opponent too much time especially when I'm not using something like a chroma, which is a lot safer, right? So I want to destroy so that he can slowly wear down the Sierra, just in case. Revenge is also nice because he's taking damage, right? He's gonna be taking damage from Sierra, and therefore it's nice just to revenge, and he can stun with revenge as well, I believe, right? So on the first skill, yeah, he can stun. He can also taunt, right? So it's pretty nice to have revenge on him. But I don't have a shield set, which is a bit awkward if it's like Sierra or Ryan. So I might change one of the sets to shield later on, but at the moment that's how he's built. I will try to use him a bit. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all the main changes that I've done and the new units that I've built. Now, so this video is not as long, which I think is a lot better. Like I think people generally prefer like half an hour maximums, like in terms of like video length, right? That's what I try to aim for, to do about approximately 20 to 30 minute video. Alright, but if you prefer just for me to go through all the units, it will take probably over an hour. I don't mind doing it, but if you prefer it that way, let me know and I can change it, alright? So I just want to try it this way in case people prefer it this way or not. Alright, so just a couple of other short announcements. I'll probably mention this over the next couple of videos as well, just in case people don't watch the entire video. But a couple of things. One, a guildie asked me, will I summon for people, right? Like do summoning videos. I haven't done a summoning video for myself for a while because I've been I've been very itchy to summon. I don't really like saving scrolls that much, so I've just been summoning as I go. But if for people that want me to summon for them, I don't mind doing it. Just like you know, shoot me a message, or you can comment in the video. Leave your email address or message me on either Twitch or Facebook. Alright, my links are always in the description, so you can contact me that way. And just let me know. We'll discuss it. We'll organize a time for me to log on and do your summons and whatnot. And I don't mind compiling like a bunch of summoning videos for a bunch of people if people are interested. I just haven't done it yet because not many people have asked me. Right? There have been a few people that asked me, but we haven't really followed up with it. Alright, so that's one thing. The second thing is... Wait, what was the second thing? Oh, AMAs, that's right. So for, I don't know if everyone's watched my TOA video. For the TOA video, I'm doing like AMA or vlogs, right? So I guess it's something similar to what YDCB does and used to do before. But I thought it's a good opportunity to answer stuff that people wanted to ask me as well, right? I think a lot of YouTubers will probably do something similar anyway. It's not that I'm trying to copy or anything, okay? But I haven't really gotten any questions since I told people I did it, so I'm just going to remind people, if you have any questions, it doesn't have to be about Summoner's War. It can be Summoner's War or just, whatever. You want my opinion or something, you want to ask me something about me, go ahead and ask it. I'll save them and I'll do a video with TOA in the background, speed run, and I'll just talk about stuff, right, and answer questions. Alright, so those are the two main things I wanted to announce, and as I said, I'll probably announce it a bit more over the next coming weeks because TOA is resetting soon. So I'll be recording that video probably in 1 or 2 weeks time, probably 2 weeks time. Alright, so that's it for me today. Thanks guys for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.